Yes.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
My name is Logan. Originally from America. I'm just traveling the world right now, and I teach yoga to students of all levels, and I do kirtan. I've been very lucky and blessed to be part of the Avatar Festival here in the Ukraine. And I'm feeling my heart is very full tonight. We just finished doing a chant, some closing chants for the Avatar Festival, and we're getting ready to go back to the big city, Kiev. So we're in Odessa right now, and it's been really beautiful. I feel really blessed. So I thought I would do a little mantra for you guys on camera here.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Bo, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Bo Bo Bo, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Bo, Hare Bo. Om Mani Padme Hum. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Some say it's all long gone. Some say it's up to chance. But in the end it's all on us to take your part in the dance. When you dance with me, yeah, yeah, boom, 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 yeah. Oh,
It's great, it's beautiful.
That was great right at the end there.
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, it's cool. Maybe you say a few words about traveling.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, about maybe some words, some people, what you say, world, what advice maybe.
What people should I?
All people, what you say about to people, some words to people.
Some words of like wisdom.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Today we were closing a chant today, and it's really interesting. We were holding hands in a circle, and then we touch the person next to us, and then we touch the person next to them, and then we're touching an arm that's coming from we don't know where, and we were just talking about how we influence each other with just simple actions, and how sometimes our bad energy so easily creates an effect in someone else, and how careful we have to be to take care of one another, because you don't know how you act towards someone is going to trigger them, is going to trigger the next person, and we're all affecting each other on so many deep levels here. So we have an obligation to this planet, this earth, to take care of it as it's taking care of us, and to take care of each other. I think our natural state is a loving state. I think we learn a lot of other things. We have low emotions, anger, and we get depressed and sadness, and sometimes those things feel like they're going to linger, but they're just passing through us. We don't need to take action with our negative energy. We need to take action from our highest emotions, our highest values, compassion. So, namaste. Peace be with you.
Cool. Say about your traveling country.
Oh, my travels and my countries. So I've been traveling now for about a year, pretty steadily, and I've seen South America and India and Nepal and now the Ukraine, and it's powerful to see how people, well, they're very different, they're very unique in some ways, but everyone is struggling in ways that are very similar. And I think it's very hard to know what the struggle of another is. So you wind up in these small villages sometimes, and you see how some people, they're so happy with so little, and then you go to some other places where it's very wealthy and there's plenty of abundance, and people don't seem as happy sometimes. So it's a lesson for us to really appreciate what we do have. I think in my heart of hearts, I've been so lucky that I've gotten to travel. It's given me a bigger perspective. And had I not traveled, I don't know. I don't know if I would have had the same experiences. Maybe so. I think we can learn a lot from staying at home, but being open to even new people that come to our countries. I know in some places it's been more and more popular to try to keep people out. But as I've been such a welcomed visitor to so many countries, I would never think in my own country that I would ever want to tell someone they can't come here because they're not the right religion, or they're not the right color, or they're not the right sex. That seems just morally wrong. The planet doesn't make those kinds of decisions. We all get the same breath. We all have food enough to feed the world 10 times over. And it's my hope and my wish that this world, that we see each other as brothers and sisters, and that we recognize we're all traveling together 365 days a year going around the sun. And it might seem like we're vastly different, vastly apart, but I think by far we're so similar, we're so much the same. that it's just a simple step to see that unity. So go for unity.
What do you think about Ukraine? What Ukraine give you? Some maybe
God, Ukraine has been so
people,
welcoming.
Ukrainian people. What
The
emotion?
Well, the Ukrainian people are like, it's funny because I've studied yoga for a long time in America, but the Ukrainian people, there seems to be a lot more esoteric yoga here, which is very cool. You see that more in India, where you have to go into deeper practices. But so many people I've met, at least in the yoga community, seem to have these deeper connections with life and people, and yeah, it's really an exciting place. And just I was here like 3 months ago for the first time in May of 2017, and just everywhere I went, people could probably see the lost foreigner, and people would just be so helpful. I remember picking up my guitar in a park, and I was just noodling around, and somebody came by and threw money in my guitar case, and it wasn't even open, and I just thought that was so funny. And then I started playing a little louder to see what would happen, and by the end of the day, I think I made more money in a half an hour in the Ukraine than I ever made in my entire life in Chicago as a musician. It was kind of funny. But no, people have been really warm and excited about telling me about their culture, and warm and welcome. It's funny, as a Westerner, it seems very European, but I've heard other people say that's almost Asiatic. There is kind of there's a nice similarity between people. I highly recommend it. If you've never been to the Ukraine or thought of coming to a place like this, it's really beautiful. It's been eye-opening to me, and I never thought I would come, but I just by circumstance and a friend inviting me, I made it happen, and I'm so glad I've come. It's my second time back now, and I'm planning a third trip to come back and help be part of this yoga community, at least, if not more of the society. So.
Can you say how yoga come to your life? How this style of music come to your life? What start?
It's so funny. Well, there's this great kirtan singer, Dave Stringer, and I remember, I don't know how long he had been playing at the time, but he came to my town at the time, was Chicago, and I think there was 10 people in the band and 10 people in the audience, and this guy was amazing. He was just like, just belting out this kirtan music, and I was like, what is this? And he made it so accessible. And I'd heard kirtan music before, this call and response, and I love it, don't get me wrong, but there was a vibrancy and energy that he brought to it that just made it more accessible to my heart and the way my heart operates. So yeah, I was just like, I'm going to get into this, and I started playing with bands in Chicago, and that grew into more bands. I think there were 3 bands in Chicagoland, and I ended up playing in all 3 of them in their kirtan bands. And then from there started my own band, which is acoustic kirtan, which is really myself. But then I just find musicians, and in Chicago I made an album with some dear friends of mine, and it's a really lovely album. It's on Bandcamp if anybody wants to check that out. Acoustic kirtan, spelt with a K, acoustic kirtan. But anyhow, yoga was another trip entirely. I've been meditating since I was a kid, just more through theater practices. Was encouraged by a really wise teacher, Sue Levine, in high school, and she gave us all kinds of neat little exercises. And I just took those on my own and just started learning focus training. And it really calmed me at a time when I was 13 years old, 14 years old, and you go through a lot of emotional turmoil at that point in time, and it really calmed me down. It made me peaceful in myself, and I really appreciate that. And then I started absorbing myself in other practices like guitar or Tai Chi for a while. And then I found the yoga practice really kind of aided my meditations. And yoga has just really become a powerful love of mine, and I'll probably be practicing yoga until these limbs don't work, until this mind doesn't work, until I can't breathe breaths. Because you don't need much to practice yoga, you just need focus. And all these other things we do is just to get that focus so we can be connected, I guess for lack of a better word, the absolute.
Many people that I meet and that listen your music, yeah, say me, oh Richie is this guy that opened my heart. Yeah, your music opened my heart too. What is secret? Because your music inside soul, inside heart, and this
Well, that's
really
an
opened.
honor. I mean, thank you. That's an honor that people feel that way. I think for me, when I play music, it connects me to something. When I sing these mantras or these chants, I just feel a deep joy. And if I, when I'm practicing, I always get sucked into it. I'm just going to practice, and I'm not. But then, like 20 minutes goes by, and I'm still, working out this chord structure, and I just got lost in the chant. So it has this way of just drawing you in. I think people they're open, and you're open, and so in some ways, like all I have to do is it's like a domino. I just have to touch that domino, and it's ready to knock over already. And then we're in energy together. I mean, when one heart opens, the other one's more susceptible to opening, and pretty soon, like two people with open hearts are around a person who's like a little on the fringe. And I think that's part of it. Our hearts are hardwired for compassion. I think people have a tendency to learn bad behaviors, but that deepest behavior is one of love. And so just getting back to that, I mean, we've all had experiences, I'm sure, that have been difficult or traumatizing. And part of the healing process is just getting back to our natural state. Shedding all these memories, shedding all these circumstances, the triggers that we carry. And so we go to places that we hope are safe, a festival like this is pretty safe, and people are coming with such a high vibration already. It heightens my vibration, and it's like a ping pong ball that can never ever be missed, and it's like, and it's going faster and faster and faster, and pretty soon it just hits almost a static state. It's just, and people just find themselves, for lack of a better word, just in that perfected state of love. I mean, we look at each other in the eyes, and it's so easy and it's so comfortable. So I don't think anyone's bringing it, but I'm honored that I get to participate in this way. That I get to hold space and create space in some small way. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Many people from another country, say the Ukrainian girl is most beautiful girl of the world. What do you think about this?
Well, I think all the people are really beautiful. I've been pretty shocked. And maybe it's like kind of just unique. We're at this yoga festival, and everyone is like so fit and trim and healthy. And I don't want to comment. Like, I don't want to say the most beautiful. It's been really powerful to kind of like it's inspiring me. Like, I want to be healthier. I want to be more fit, and take even better care of myself. And I take pretty good care of myself. So I've met so many yogis here who just have amazing practices, deep practices, and men and women, and everything in between. But there's also, I would comment on, at least in this space that I know of, there's a spiritual beauty too. And, like, you couldn't practice yoga 50 years ago here; it would be illegal. And so, we're talking about a generation or two ago where things are opening up here, and people are really ripe for it. It's a really good lesson for us back in the States, where I'm from in America. It seems like there's a lot of unrest and turmoil and difficulty, but we have the right to protest. We can do things peacefully and create change peacefully, I think, and I hope that's the way that we choose to do things. But I'm so impressed with the Ukrainian people. Just they have a strong spirit.
Maybe can you wish anything for people, for him most happyful, most open hearts? What wish you?
Well, I've read a lot of philosophy.
What thing we do for this?
It's a big question, but I think you have to start simple sometimes. I mean, maybe meditation's not your thing, but maybe if you walk your dog meditatively, or maybe if you reach out in a positive way. I mean, sometimes it's just a small thing that can change us, making yourself show up, which is one of the hardest things to do, even when you're not feeling your best. So, as far as yoga is concerned, I mean, Patanjali is like, he's written the Yoga Sutras, and he's one of my heroes as far as yoga is concerned. And he talks about 7 methods, basically. But the 7th method is basically, or anything that suits you. So in some aspect, I would say the first step is really getting to know yourself. Really getting to know yourself. And I don't mean the ideas that have been put into you from society, from culture, but really getting to know your deep self. Because so many ideas come from places that aren't you. And that first step sometimes can be the last step, because you find that, oh wow, why am I striving for something that doesn't really even speak to my heart? Why am I trying to fit in to some way that maybe society is governed, or maybe even my religious philosophy is governed? I mean, we all want to belong, and we all want to be a part of something, but we are. I mean, we're part of the human family, and that I hope is what we're growing towards. Not that I want to erase culture or erase race, but just I want to celebrate our uniqueness. But I think it's so important to really challenge your ideas, challenge your beliefs. And it's not about being right. It's about understanding why someone thinks the way they think. And if you're not willing to take that step, you're just creating the same conflict. And it's hard to take responsibility for that. How am I creating conflict by not even investigating? Because we have some pretty self-righteous ideas. And maybe you could say to me right now, well, this seems like a pretty self-righteous idea on you too. And it's a fair statement. But consider the fact that, I'm a 53-year-old man who, at his, I'm going to say, winter of his middle age, has decided to get rid of everything and go and see the world and kind of break the conventions of what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm not saying it's not scary, but man, I've learned so much in a year. And I've been kind of doing this kind of thing for a while on some level. But it really has broadened my horizons, and I know that's a hard leap to take. But I would say the first step for all of us is just to consider that everything you think isn't true. Everything we, I guess, postulate on, pontificate on, isn't necessarily true. But what I've discovered is that whatever I believe is true has been true. And I've had some pretty small beliefs, and they've been true, and then that's made me a small person. And when I've been able to expand those ideas and expand those beliefs, I swear to God, miracles have happened in my life. And I can't discount miracles like that. So I would just explore.
Oh, thank you, Rich. Do you planning come to Avatar next year?
Yeah, that's my plan next year. Just figure out the dates, and I'll book the time, and I'll probably keep a couple weeks on either end so I can teach in some studios in Ukraine, and maybe down here in Odessa. I'll make some friends down here too, and come back and teach. That's my desire. But I'm also good at just going with the flow. Let's hope that happens.
Nice. Can you sing some music?
Song.
Yeah.
I'll sing a little ditty just because I've been singing for 2 days straight. My throat's a little tired. My guitar is out of tune.
Okay.
try again.
We have post-production, so it's okay.
So lost on Tuesday, it's my blue day. Man.
I'm just gonna sing a happy song.
Okay.
So down on Tuesday, it's my blue day. But Wednesday comes and I am once again myself and promise I won't fall back. But then, so lost on Thursday, but found again by Friday. Saturday comes around and I have drowned, thank God I'm resurrected Sunday. It's my one day with you, but Monday makes it all seem untrue, but it's true. Should've done this, should've done that, should've been here, should've been there. Should've stopped shooting on everyone I know a lot longer than long ago. When I look back and I see like, what am I looking to the future? Can I let go? Can I be whole? Can I forget what I have done? Be with that one beyond desire. Let these questions ignite a fire in my soul. So indecisive, this mind can't make decisions, and so tired of derision. Makes me feel I'm better than my sisters and my brothers who have meant so much to me and put their love in me. I wanna be unswerving, I feel so damn undeserving in my heart. But where to start? Yeah, I'm so caught. Live here without what ought I to do? What ought I to do? Yeah, yeah. So down on Tuesday, it's my blue day. Wednesday comes and I am once again myself. Promise I won't fall back. But then it's true on Wednesday and going more by Thursday. Saturday comes around and I astound myself and others because it's true. You just gotta believe in yourself, and what's blue becomes the prettiest thing in the world. Like that dress and your eyes and that sky that surrounds us, all of us, all of us, all of us, all of us. Deva can let me go, Deva can let me go for life. Deva can let me go for love. Deva can